Check, check, mic check.
Thank you all for coming tonight. It's so nice to see everyone. As you know, tonight is a night for nonprofits. We will hear from speakers from many of the nonprofits here in Laramie. You will each get 2 minutes to tell your story about your organization and what we can do to help you, be it money, donations, volunteers, or something else. If you wish to speak, please fill out a yellow card and give it to Jim, our moderator. You will all get a 30-second warning, and then you will hear the bell. The PVA board here tonight includes Sharon Breitweiser, Allie Grossman, Mike Selmer, Jim Erdelli, and me. PVA is a nonpartisan group conducting meetings to educate the local community on political issues, candidates, and other community, charity, and nonprofit groups within Albany County and the state of Wyoming. And please pass the bucket during the meeting. Your donations are gratefully received. They go for the use of this building, Zoom, filing fees, and no, he works for free. Before we get started, please find somebody close that you don't know and spend 2 minutes sharing what is new and good in your life. Thank you.
So that'll be better. Hi, everybody. Welcome to PVA Nonprofit Night on this Martin Luther King Equality Day. So thanks for coming out, everybody. Yeah. We have a lot of speakers, so we're going to mix it up a little bit from our usual. We'll have each speaker take his or her 2 minutes with mic timing, and then right at that point, we'll ask for a question, quick question or two of that particular speaker. We usually run through all the speakers, then we start all over again with questions. We have too many, so Sharon will be the roving mic. So Barb, I will ask for the questions from you, giving me the cue. You send yourself for wherever you see the hands up, whoever's closest to you. All right, so please tell your story in a couple of minutes. You don't have to give a lot of history. We can Google that, but a little bit about your mission and how we can help you as a community. Ready? Okay. Number one, Hannah Elsinger is going to talk about youth mentoring. So step right up, please. That's you.
Good evening. Thank you all for having us here. I'm Hannah Esslinger with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Laramie. Our mission is to create and support mentoring relationships that ignite the power and promise of youth. We know that every child has the potential to do incredible things, and sometimes all it takes to get them over that hump is just knowing that they have someone in their corner. So our goal is to make sure that every child has that opportunity. Here in Albany County, we go about that in a few different ways. We have our one-to-one mentoring program, which is what most people think of when they think of Big Brothers Big Sisters, where we match an adult volunteer with a child in need. We also have after-school programs at, do I need to pull it closer? We also have after-school programs that take place at 4 local elementary schools, as well as programming for middle schoolers and high schoolers. And we also have juvenile justice programming that we operate in partnership with the county attorney's office. So that's kind of, they all have a little bit of a different approach, but they all have that focus of providing a mentor to a child in need. Research tells us that the #1 factor in whether a child develops the kind of resilience that they need to overcome any challenges that they may have in their life is whether or not they have a caring adult. So our goal is to make sure that every kid has that person who has their back and is cheering them on. And ways that you can get involved, you can volunteer as a BIG. We have BIGs from all walks of life, all demographics. We also work with kids from all demographics and all walks of life. So we match based on interest and personalities. So we're gonna place you with a kid that is going to enjoy the same things that you do. You can also just share our story and advocate for Big Brothers Big Sisters and for youth mentoring, as well as educational programs and things like that. That's going to be a really important factor, especially with the uncertainty of the Department of Education moving forward and all of those things. But I can say full-throatedly that getting involved in any one of these nonprofits that's here tonight is going to be well worth your while. So find something that you're passionate about and you're interested in and get involved, because you won't regret it. It'll be a good experience for you. Oh, your questions.
Thank you, Hannah. On the question period, I always preface question time with respecting one another is a beautiful thing. So, on your question, make sure you phrase it so that is one person asks one person a question. We're not a discussion-oriented group. We are a speaker forum group. So we will have plenty of time. Well, we won't stay here till midnight, but Marian and I, our meetings run from 7 to 8, sometimes 7 to 8:20 or whatever. We'll hang out here till probably at least 9 to get together with folks and ask them things when this meeting is, the official meeting is over. So, question. So.
How many kids do you guys have waiting to be matched with a big?
I would have to go back and look at the exact number, but there is always a waiting list, and particularly for young men. We are always in need of adult male mentors in the community, just because we tend to have far more young men waiting for a mentor and far more adult female volunteers. So there's always a waiting list. There's always kids who are looking for that person in their life. I would say probably between 10 and 20 at the moment.
I know that over the years, Big Brothers Big Sisters was Laramie, and then it was Southeast Wyoming, and then it was Wyoming. So right now, out of your out of your office here, are you serving other counties in Wyoming, and just in terms of all the outreach that you're doing elsewhere?
Yes, we do. We are the headquarters for the state of Wyoming. So we oversee all the Big Brothers Big Sisters programming across all of the state. But we have local programming serving specifically Albany County here as well. So we have our Wyoming staff and we have our Albany County staff. Thank you.
Next, we have Ed Consul, who's going to talk about ARE, and you'll tell us what the acronym is again, once again. Ed. You make everybody guess, I know.
Good evening, everyone. Some of you have heard me speak before. My name's Ed Consul, and I'm with the Alliance for Renewable Energy here in Laramie. And we're focused on the city of Laramie and increasing the use of renewable energy. And just a brief comment on what we did. We started about 7 years ago, and we were just going to meet with the city council and people and try and get them interested, and then we discovered money. We found out that the city council didn't know about blue sky grants. So we started passing the word around, met with the mayor, met with city council, met with the city manager's staff and the city manager and the EAC, the Environmental Advisory Committee, and boy, it's amazing what money does when it's available. As a result of that, if you ever go out to the rec center or the ice arena, you'll see, if you go around the building, you'll see the 25 kilowatt solar panel arrays that have been installed there. We managed to get about $75,000 for each one of those setups. There's also at the firehouse in West Laramie, and we met with the airport board and got some panels out there. So that's what we worked on in the past, and what we're working on now is we basically watch things and try and give input to things that are going on. You may not be familiar with the Sailor Solar project that's been proposed for the Monolith and Bath ranches. We're keeping an eye on how that's developing. The 4th Street development, upcoming legislative session. Our legislature is not real friendly toward renewable energy, you may know that. And we watch grant opportunities. And AARP has offered grants. They're called the Community Challenge Grants. If you aren't aware of them, I brought information, and I'll give you my email, and I'll be happy to share that information. They're offering some fairly decent-sized grants. If you want to join us, our next meeting is this Thursday, right here, 6 o'clock. Thank you.
Is there money out there for single housing, low-income solar? Rooftop
Hard
solar?
question to answer right now because, and I don't remember the exact date, but the current administration has done away with the 30% tax rebate. And I don't know if that's done. I believe that ended at the end of 2025. That's what I thought, yeah. That's why we're looking so much for other places to find grants. And then we found out about the AARP grant, which could help, but it's not aimed at doing individual projects. It's aimed at groups like that are assembled here tonight and how they can contribute to the community, especially the older community. I can use that term because I'm probably older than most of you in here, so. Oh, that's right, you're older. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, but I'm only 63. Okay, okay. Anything else for Ed? Thank you, Ed. Yeah, go home.
Thank you. Next is Yana Nightingale, who's going to talk about animal rescue in Albany via laws, and you can tell us that acronym too. We know what it is, but okay. So, thank you, Yana.
Thank you. I'm not much of a public speaker, so I'm just going to read my speech to you, if that's okay. Good evening. Thank you, PVA, for having us all here tonight. I'm here on behalf of Laramie Animal Welfare Society, also known as LAWS, to talk about our mission of enhancing welfare of the animals in Albany County community. While we're primarily focused on rescuing and finding homes for cats, dogs, and other small animals, we also provide valuable community services. We run a pet pantry where people can get free food and supplies to avoid surrender of their pets during times of hardship. We also pay for all of the city shelters animals, medical care, including spay, neuter, and vaccines. We also conduct trap, neuter, and release programs. Oh, is that better? Yes, okay. Okay. We also conduct trap, neuter, and release programs to help control the community cat populations where possible, although it's still illegal in the city limits to do that, which is a discussion I'd love to have another time. To that end, we're always looking for more volunteers, fosters, adopters, and donors. But tonight, I'd like to talk to you a little bit more about an immediate need. We just purchased a new building. Well, just purchased. It was 2 years ago. And we're still trying to bring it up to code to get our certificate of occupancy. So, lost my spot. We've already put a significant amount of money into it, but we do need help with, like I said, permitting, bringing it up to code, and we also need tradespeople to help us add those touches that's going to make it a home. Also, we do have our biggest fundraiser of the spring coming up, which is the Homebrew Fest, sponsored by Hits 106. That's on March 7th. We're looking for silent auction items, and hopefully we'll just get to see you there and have a good time. Thank you.
Any question for Yana regarding laws and animal rescue?
Okay, thank you.
And you got my name right, thank you. I know it's a tough one, right?
I'm just interested in finding out where location will be.
Yes, it's going to be at 606 Skyline. It's near the bus station, across from the Sheriff's State Department, 6 and Skyline. Yeah.
That's awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I do have a brochure that shows a vision of what we want our spaces to look like. So feel free to pick one up, or come see us at the office. You can come over there sometime and help us build something.
Hi, I didn't hear about your spring fundraiser, and I wondered if you could describe it a little bit more.
Yes, Hits 106 sponsors the Laramie Homebrewers Festival every year, and it's all the people that brew their own beer. They come to just basically you pay for your ticket and you drink all that you want. You can taste everyone's home brews, and we have a massive silent auction. That's our biggest spring fundraiser. We usually bring in about $4,000 to $6,000 every year just from that one night alone, and it's huge. We love doing it, and Hits 106 has been very, very generous in giving us all their money they make that night. So we need silent auction items, or just show up and have fun. There's also live music.
Thank you, Yana. Next, we have Pam Brecken to talk about Home on the Range. Pam?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Pam Brecken. You probably already know me. If not, I work with Home on the Range. We're the only large animal sanctuary in Albany County. We're located behind the Cavalryman, and currently we have 18 animals out there. We have 3 big horses, 4 ponies, 5 donkeys, 2 big goats, 3 little goats, and a sheep. They've all had bad backgrounds. They've been abandoned, abused, neglected. They come live with us. They're not adoptable, so they hang out with us all the time. We have a caretaker that lives on site that takes care of them twice a day. And currently, we are in need of some volunteers. And then our other big ask this year is we need hay in a big way. We usually have a donor that will donate hay for us for the winter, but due to the drought this summer, they didn't even have enough to put up for their animals. And we didn't have a lot of water to put ours out in pasture. So we need hay. We need help with hay to feed everybody. The feed store out in West Laramie, they've graciously agreed to work with us, and they're offering hay at the price of $13 a bale or $240 for a bundle, and that's 21 bales. You can go out, you can buy one bundle, you could buy 2 bundles, however many bundles you feel like buying, and then they'll let us know when we have enough, and our caretaker's son will go out and bring the hay back out to Home on the Range for us. So if you know anyone that wants to help animals, I have a newsletter here. I'll leave some on the back so you can read all about the fun things that we do. And I just want to say it makes my heart happy that there's so many nonprofits here in Laramie and we're all here in it together. So thanks.
Got a question for Pam with Home on the Range? Probably nobody because you were going to sit down.
Right, yeah.
Going once. Thank you, Pam.
All right, thanks.
Bye. Next speaker is Bob Sell with ARC. We might have talked or emailed each other, didn't we? Yeah. Okay, you're on. We can do that.
That would be fine. Hello, everybody. My name is Bob Sell. I am the CEO for ARC Regional Services. And what are you sending signals at me? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah,
My
I am.
goodness.
I'm trying to get you to talk more into the microphone.
No problem. Absolutely. I usually get told I talk too loud. We provide services for folks with intellectual and developmental disabilities here in our community. We've been a nonprofit since 1963. We provide services in a variety of ways, including 10 24-hour-a-day group homes, shared living environments for folks who have extremely high needs. These folks receive services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We also operate 25 apartments that we consider to be supported living. Folks who have a lower level of need, we support about 4 to 6 hours a day in their apartments and then help them be a part of our community. We also have an extensive day program that's all about teaching daily living skills and independent living skills. Now that is in 4 different locations, including what many of you know as the Cooper Center for Creative Arts, where we have fine and performing arts opportunities, the ARC Equestrian Center, as well as the Center for Professional Development, which is more of a curriculum-driven math, science, social studies education program. And our newest program, which is ARC's Vocational Education Program, which is housed in a computer lab and a commercial kitchen that we were able to remodel, where we can actually teach hands-on actual job skills for people so they have a better chance at employment. In our world, underemployment is significant for folks with developmental disabilities. We provide these services. Oh, in addition, our third program is actually supporting people at their job in the community where they're working. We do this with 140 direct support professionals. And what can you do for us as a community? 3 primary things. 1, value people with disabilities. The more value we show for people with developmental disabilities in our community, the more opportunities they have. Show value for direct support professionals. We have a direct care crisis in this country, and we need to show them value and grace in the work that they do. And lastly, assist us financially any way that you can. My nonprofit friends know, I say this all the time, if Wyoming Medicaid fully funded our programs, I wouldn't have to compete with the rest of you, and so pay attention to what's happening in our legislature. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Any questions for Bob with ARC? ARC questions? You've covered it. You covered it. Thank you. Okay, good. Next speaker is little writing. Jesse, is it Colburn? Cole? Help me. That sounds a bit. Do you want to talk about? You got it. Laramie reproductive health.
Hi, folks. Thanks again for having us tonight. My name is Jessie Kohlauer. Really good attempt there. I'm the executive director of LRH and incredibly passionate about the work that we do. Our mission is to provide supportive education and care, and our vision is that everybody has equal access to reproductive health care. With that, one of our biggest things that we're pushing right now is our new pickleball tournament. Unfortunately, the current administration has already cut our funding, our federal funding that we received by 12 grand. That is always going to be up in the air, never quite sure what they're going to do. So we're trying to ensure stability, and with that, trying out a pickleball tournament to see how that works. With that, we're looking for sponsors, and we're also looking for donors of any shape, size, or whatever that looks like for you guys. We really, truly have a decent amount of volunteers that come through from the University of Wyoming. So granted, we are pretty busy with the fall and spring semesters, but outside of that, a lot more of the outreach is what folks are not necessarily as interested in doing. So that's where we could use you guys' support. We do low cost, no cost for STI testing, birth control, pregnancy testing, preconception services for folks who are trying to get pregnant all the way up to premenopause. The birth control that we have varies from NuvaRings, Nexplanons, thank you. Oral contraceptives, and kind of everything else in between. So it's kind of a full gamut. We do a lot of other services as well, annual exams, and we have a great relationship with Downtown Clinic where we can refer folks back and forth. That being said, if you guys have any other questions, I have pamphlets on other services we provide. And just so you know, one of the best ways you guys can support us is to be a patient yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse. Any questions for Jesse and Laramie Reproductive? Yes.
I am Eric, and I am just curious about ways that we can. Do you do educational events is my question.
Yeah, so right now I'm working with the school district to do, our doctors are gonna go in and do a kind of a general presentation, and then we'll have kind of the boys and the girls split off into different groups, because they're gonna be a lot more open to asking questions and whatnot. So our doctors will do that in the community. It's pretty new. The legislator actually asked that being a requirement. And when I met with Linford, their 5th grade girls, about 99% of them are already menstruating. And so there's a lot of physiological changes, and kiddos don't know what the heck's going on. That being said, I go to Klein, Wyoming. I go everywhere where people will give me 5 seconds to talk. But if you want the actual doctors to do that, we can schedule something. Yeah. Tammy?
I'm coming. Tammy.
I met with Jessie last week, and she shared statistics with us regarding what is big and what's on the uprise in Laramie. And I thought that that was a really interesting piece of information that folks should know about.
Yeah, well, and I would assume a lot of you folks are monogamous, but oral gonorrhea is actually very prevalent right now, as well as HIV. And so it's really important. We do PEP and PrEP at our office, and so it's really important just to be mindful. And when we have folks that come in, we test for pharyngeal gonorrhea automatically. Most clinics, we can't get them to do that. So I think between us and the health department, we're probably the only ones that are doing that. Yeah. Thank you.
And we just happen to have as our next speaker, Pete Gosar, Downtown Clinic. Pete?
Just give me a moment.
All right. Good evening. Pete Gosar at the Downtown Clinic. So nice to see you. The Downtown Clinic prepares people for getting primary care without health insurance that are experiencing poverty. We don't ask any questions about why a person needs to come to us. They just have to qualify without health insurance and would be below 200% of the federal poverty level For us, healthcare is completely different than I think maybe traditionally in America. Healthcare is delivered for us. Social worth is healthcare. Mental health is healthcare. Fresh food is healthcare. And so we try to meet people where they are and where their needs are. To understand a person, you have to sit with them, and you can't do a 10 or a 15-minute appointment. We don't believe in that. We believe in an hour appointments for people. Last year, we went over 3,000 appointments for the first time. This year, we're up over 3,300 appointments. As you well know, the healthcare industry is getting scary and scarier yet. We expect those numbers to climb for sure when people get the sticker shock from the Affordable Care Act. We have great partners with Laramie Reproductive Health, the hospital, and all of the nonprofits here because they do help deliver healthcare, whether they're in food, shelter, like the SAVE Project is a healthcare entity to us. How can you help? Of course, money is always something that nonprofits are short of. But we are coming up to the legislature, and I'm not sure if you have seen what is being talked about, but there are drastic cuts being discussed, not only in healthcare, but in other places. You can advocate, and I wish you really would. And if you have time to go over there, please go over there. People are making some decisions that might be irreparable. And then if you have a car and you want to do some driving, we can get you as a Lyft driver, and you could help us bring people to our clinic. Transportation is such an issue for the people living in poverty that we'll get you paid, and you can become a Lyft driver just for the times that the clinic's open. So please call us about that.
So will you have access to that 250? Will you have access to the 250 million that's coming from federal government on whatever silly health plan that they're sending in? Yeah, what?
Well, it would be nice, and we dreamed that way. But I have to tell you, during COVID-19, we were as invisible as our clients. Other healthcare entities were given money directly to their accounts. Free clinics around America got zero. And we had to hustle for PPI. Thank you, Bob. We were able to get N95s. And so boy, we dream, but we don't expect it, although I think we should.
Okay. What do you do to get the word out? And I'm asking that right now because Saturday I ended up in the grocery store in a long conversation with this guy who could really benefit from your service, and I didn't think to tell him. And I don't know how to get in touch with him, and I'm just wondering, what do you do so that he might discover that you're there and that you would take somebody like him and his family?
Thank you, Jenny. We can tattoo your forehead with our information if you'd like, and then you never have to worry about that again. We have great relationships with the emergency room. We try to make sure that the people at the emergency room know that we're a thing and that they will refer to us, because the emergency room is oftentimes the only other place that healthcare is delivered to people experiencing poverty, and they're not particularly good, nor are they set up to do primary care. And so if you could just share, if anybody has a question, they can just call us. We'll let you know right away if we can be helpful or where you can find help if you don't qualify for our services.
This person talked about how they don't go to the doctor because they can't afford it, or he tries to make a deal with physicians. Only charge me this much, and once in a while we'll go, but we don't go like we should. So is there some other way where publicly they could stumble across your information where you are?
Well, I think you're hitting on one of my weak points. Marketing, don't have much experience in that. However, tell that person we have been, without charge, for 26 years. So whatever they do, whether see a doctor, get a prescription medicine, get a vaccine, it is without charge and always will be, hopefully, at the downtown clinic. So they don't have to worry about that bill following around, ruining their credit score. We are on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and any other nonprofit, hopefully, we'll send them our way. We send people who have an issue that needs to go to Tammy's place. We'll send them to Tammy's place if they just get a hold of us.
I hope I run into him again.
You as well. Thanks.
Next speaker is Rachel LeBeau with, Rachel's with Cathedral Home. Welcome.
Shouldn't have messed with it. Shouldn't have messed with it. Okay, is that good? All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having all of us this evening. My name is Rachel LeBeau, and I'm here from Cathedral Home. For those of you who are new to our organization or don't know a lot about us, we support youth and families through mental health initiatives. We have been around since 1910 in Laramie, taking care of children and families. It all started at the train station downtown when a group of 4 kids were left there by their father who couldn't take care of them. And the Episcopal bishop said, well, that's not okay with me. We have to do something. And over the years, Cathedral Home has said over and over and over, it's not okay with us if kids are feeling alone or having to go through hard things. And we've continued to evolve and figure out what it is that we can do to be there for kids and families in Laramie and beyond. We serve kids all over Wyoming. We serve people from Nebraska, South Dakota, and sometimes from other neighboring states as well. We have about 700 people a year that utilize our programs, and that may surprise you. You may be most familiar with our campus north of town, and there we serve about 80 or so people a year, young children under 18. But in our community is where we do a lot of our prevention work. And by prevention, I mean we are trying to get involved with folks before things get dire, before they need the kind of help that would remove a child from their home. So that includes things like counseling. It includes things like case management, helping people find food, find work, improve the way they work together as a family. So when you ask what you can do to help us, we really need your advocacy. A couple of folks have mentioned this, but we need you to be paying attention to legislation. Everything that happens impacts kids and families, all of it, but especially when we talk about budget and appropriations. Department of Family Services, Department of Health, Department of Education, all of those dollars impact whether or not kids and families are able to have their needs met. That goes quick.
Thank you, Rachel. Any other questions for Rachel and Cathedral Home? Sure. Pete?
Rachel, could you talk a little bit more about your coach's mental health program that I just found out about last week that I thought is fantastic?
Sure. Thanks for the opportunity. Yes, we have a new program. It's called Coaches Who Care. We have enrolled a number of coaches in the community, 49 last year, who coach some type of youth activity. We've had youth pastors, soccer coaches, gymnastics, all the things. But we do a suicide prevention training with those folks, and we help them identify not just the signs in kids that they work with, but how to start a conversation. And I think that can be the scariest part. You notice that a child is struggling, and what do you do about it? How do you broach the subject? What do you say? What are the exact words? And what do you do once you bring it up? And how do you kind of follow up with them? And so it's all about just having the tools to start those conversations. And so we will be having 8 more sessions this spring. And so we'll be putting out those dates here soon, thinking April.
Are those sessions, each one a full, or do you have to go to all 8? I think you understand my question.
You go to one session, there are 8 to choose from. Thank you.
Okay, next is Eric Henderson with Radio KOCA 935 FM.
Thank you. Thank you for all being here. KOCA was created through the Latin Hispanic group, about 7 founding members. They were licensed with a FCC communication radio license in 2001. And for all of you who know, radio was created in the public good. So the greatest thing that we can do over this opportunity is to share with one another. If you will let me, please let me help each of you. The invitation is extended. The goal, the mission of the Talk Shop on 93.5 FM, a show I created 8 years ago, was to communicate the awareness and give you the opportunity to share about each of your groups. You can be our guest, be my guest with a 30-minute slot in Studio 255 at the Laramie Plains Civic Center, 710 Garfield Street. And through the course of the entire year, come be the guest, be the feature, tell people, share with people, no cost to you. Let me give you ideas about how we can partner together to grow all of our interests and the awareness of what we do so powerfully within Albany County especially. And I hope everybody will take that opportunity. I want to say I'm celebrating 250 years in America, as each of you are this year, and we were benefited by being a part of the guest participants that are on May 2nd having Cinco de Mayo celebration at Lincoln Community Center. This was a grant program supported by Albany County. Thank you, Pete, and others that made that possible. But that grant money, we want to share it with each of you in that way. So please accept our invitation. Thanks.
Hello. What time is the Talk Shop?
The Talk Shop is Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. generally, and by appointment, mutual meet. If I can schedule it, I will do so. This is a candidate election year, and all candidates, be it any race, are welcome to come to the Talk Shop. That is a complimentary opportunity for all campaigns as well. So thank you for that question. Thank you.
And now we have Ken Chestik's going to talk about Wyoming Promise / American Promise. Ken?
Thank you, Jim. It's been a little while since I've been here to talk about Wyoming Promise. Most of you know that Wyoming Promise is a nonprofit organization devoted to getting money out of politics. We have had some success in the last session. We got a bill that we were very instrumental in writing, got through the Senate with 18 positive votes, and was sent on to the House. It passed the committee and was on the floor of the House, where it died for lack of time, ran out of time. So that's the closest we've ever come to getting it done. This year, we're kind of taking a little bit of a break and letting a group called American Promise sort of take the lead on it. American Promise was supporting us through the last session. They actually hired a lobbyist to work on it, and that's, I think, how we got it as far as we got it last session. We're bringing it back this year, but it's a little different. We had a ton of Republican sponsors last session. This session, American Promise is sort of taking the lead, and Wyoming Promise is watching and supporting in the background. The approach being taken now is it's been introduced as Senate Joint Resolution 2, SJ2. So it's going to start in the Senate where we had the 18 votes. We need 21 votes to get it introduced. So we need to find 3 more votes to get it introduced. But the approach they're taking, and this is driven mostly by American Promise, is the bill is called Upholding the Principles of Federalism. It's a different name for the bill, and it's full of a lot of whereas clauses that promote individualism and federalism and states' rights and going after all the good Republican talking points. And the payoff at the end is we want to tell our congresspeople to pass a resolution getting money out of politics. But it's kind of an indirect approach. We'll see if they get any farther with it this time, but that's the approach. And so call your representatives, your senators in particular, and to help us support. And we need those extra 3 votes to get it over the top and get it introduced. Thank you.
Can you distribute the bill number and name again so that we know how to respond better?
Yes, it's Senate Joint Resolution 2, SJ2. So it's going to start in the Senate, and the title is Upholding the Principles of Federalism. Nice feel-good topic that gets a lot of Republicans excited. So that's the approach we're going to take, and see if we can get the extra 3 votes and get it over the top.
And now we have Kim Jessen with Laramie Main Street Alliance. Kim?
Good evening. My name is Kim Jessen, and I am the volunteer coordinator for Laramie Main Street Alliance. Laramie Main Street Alliance serves the voice of downtown Laramie. We assist businesses, residents, and consumers who believe the heart of our great community lies in a vibrant downtown.
I just need to hear you. I'm sorry.
Scary. Laramie Main Street is run by a high-energy, small, but mighty passionate group consisting of 3 part-time staff and our fearless executive director, Trey Sherwood, and lots of good, hardworking, wonderful volunteers. We strive to make a big difference in our community. As 501(c)(3), our primary roles are to offer free services and support to any business or property owner in the district. Volunteers help with attending our committees, which are design, promotions, and organization. Laramie Main Street hosts the following events, not only to bring consumers to downtown, but to build and create a shared community. We do the Farmers Market, Brew Fest, International Flavor Festival, Small Business Saturday, and the Holiday Parade and train lighting. We are the ones that try to make parking fun. We handed out $1,000 in downtown bucks just to use the all-day lots. Last spring, we bought $150 gift certificates from every retail shop, every restaurant on 3rd Street to help them survive the construction hell. And then we in turn turned around and gave those gift certificates to volunteers, and we stuffed them into the small Saturday business bags. When I came back to this town in which I was born and raised, I found myself reliving my youth in a magical combination of nostalgia and purpose. What I didn't expect was to rediscover my community in such a meaningful way. Downtown Laramie is more than a collection of storefronts. It's our shared living room where memories are made, stories are told, and neighbors become friends. I'm going to do a small plug for volunteering. Every hour you give your nonprofits, every single one of the nonprofits here, you help create that sense of belonging for someone else. At Laramie Main Street Alliance, we believe everyone can find the right seat on the bus. Whether you're helping to set up a farmer's market, sitting on a committee, or placing barricades for the holiday parade, your contribution matters.
Yes, you're getting a question.
Can we do this? We're on live stream, so thousands of people are watching.
Sorry.
It's been a while since I got one, but you used to have the, or maybe you still do, the gift certificates that people can buy directly from Main Street that can be used at various businesses. Do you want to talk a little bit about whether those are still available?
Those are available. You can buy the $25 downtown, what we call downtown bucks, which are good at any business, any restaurant in the district at the First Interstate Bank. And you need to bring cash because they will not take a credit card for them, only cash. I don't know. Okay.
Next, we have Leanne Naughton. Leanne's going to talk about Friendship Family Program of Laramie. Leanne.
I'm Leanne Naughton. I'm with the Friendship Family Program of Laramie that was started by Jim and Marian Urdelli back in 1997. Trying to think of when I took it over, maybe 15 years ago. I'm not sure exactly. But we have, what we do is we link up students, international students, typically they're undergrads, sometimes they're graduate students. We link them up in a non-live-in host situation with community members, which means that the student continues living at their place of residence, the dorms, apartment, what have you. And we ask that they get together with their community member at least once a month. We link them up based on, I shouldn't say we, it's me. I link them up based on what they're interested in and what the community member is interested in. If you like outdoor sports, or if you like board games, if you just want to get together and have a cup of coffee, you put that on your interest form. The student puts what they're interested in on their interest form. I match that up as best I can, and hopefully you guys have the most amazing experience ever. We had our first student from Albertville, France in 2004. He was our tour guide in Rome in 2019. So it's pretty amazing. We've gotten together with our Swedish student. He was our second student in 2005. We got together with him actually twice now because we lived in Sweden when my husband was on sabbatical. This program was started by you guys mainly to combat culture shock. So the problem is the students are coming in, and for whatever reason, they need some extra help to get themselves through. As you can imagine, in this political climate right now, you know, we probably need a lot more community help than you can imagine. So I do have some sign-up forms if anybody's interested. We do have one student from Ghana that was a late arrival. Don't you ring that yet? And so she desperately needs somebody that can take her out and do some outdoor activities. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Diana Dennison, going to talk about Laramie Interfaith, and they have a fundraiser, I believe. So, you're on.
It's great to see so many like-minded people. Thanks for being here tonight. I'm Diana Dennison, and I'm on the board of Laramie Interfaith. Josh couldn't make it tonight, our director. And we do have a fundraiser coming up, It's going to be a night for neighbors banding together, February 21st. And it's going to be at the newly remodeled Cowboy Parlor. And we'll have a band. I think it's House of Cards. And right now, we're looking for donations of silent auction items, things like that. Also, if you want to be a sponsor, I think we have room for 3 or 4 sponsors. They'll be on our banner and so forth. And I wanted to say a little bit about our mission. The mission of Laramie Interfaith is to work alongside our partners and neighbors in preventing and alleviating homelessness and food insecurity. And our story, Laramie Interfaith, has been an evolving part of the Laramie community fabric since its initial certification in January of 1988. I think it also has its roots in this nice congregation, the Unitarian Church. I think Sue Waddell was very instrumental in getting that started. And we have also another fundraiser every April. We have the Walk, Run, and Roll. I don't know if any of you have participated in that. I know I did that when my kids were little, and it was always a lot of fun because the kids can ride their bikes along with you running or walking. So that's in April. And I also wanted to mention that this year has been amazing. I think we had twice as many people signing up for our Thanksgiving dinner as we did last year. We had 700 bags of Thanksgiving food and gift certificates for turkeys, and a line 5 blocks long was lined up to pick these up that weekend, I think, before Thanksgiving. So we really are in need this year, so anything you can do to help would be great. And purchase a ticket February 21st if you want a nice evening during the cold winter months. Should be a lot of fun. So I think I'm out of time. Are there any questions? Yes, Sharon.
I know you've been raising money with your Laramigos t-shirts, and you had a pop-up shop downtown on the Saturday. But normally, if people want to buy that, do they just come by the shop over at 710 Canby, or are there other places for people to buy your merchandise to show support?
Thank you so much for asking. Yes to all above, I guess. They can stop by the Canby office. Also, we have a presence on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and you should be able to buy tickets for the event, I think, on Friday on Facebook. And also you can get the nice t-shirts and baseball caps online as well. So, lots of options. Thank you. Thank you. Any other questions?
Next, we have Suzanne Luhr, going to talk about the Cancer Society daffodil and tulip sales. And I'm already seeing pop up, unless I'm hallucinating. No daffodils yet. Daffodils come up. It's too early. It's early. Okay.
If they're popping up in your yard, you won't want to buy them from me. So I hope it starts to snow. Anyway, you might be seeing this flyer around town. My partner, I'm watching you.
I know, I'm coming to help.
My partner Pam Brecken and I are ganging up this year again for the 3rd year on daffodil sales. It's the signature fundraiser for the American Cancer Society and Relay for Life. So it's Daffodil Days again. So if anybody is interested, our phone numbers are on here and our Venmo. If you do Venmo, you can order them through this. You'll see these flyers around town. If anybody wants any little flyers to take with them tonight, I've got some small ones. Sales have to be ordered, or the flowers have to be ordered by February 13th, and then the flowers come in around March 24th, we're expecting. So then we get a bunch of volunteers together and bundle them up and deliver them to you. So if anyone would like to volunteer for that too, that's kind of a fun fun get-together. So I think that's it. Am I forgetting anything, Pam? Thank you.
Our next speaker is Tammy Comer from the Epson Center. Tammy?
Hi, guys. I'm Tammy Comer. I'm the Executive Director at the Epson Center for Seniors. And since 1973, we have been providing lifelong support for independent living for Laramie's older adults. One of the best things that we do is to bring older folks together so that we can combat isolation. We can bring folks in to have a good meal. We do a daily meal Monday through Friday. That they can come in, have a meal, do some activities, learn something, listen to speakers. We also have an amazing home-delivered meal program that provided almost 40,000 meals to our community last year. Our congregate program last year did about 15,000, so we're looking at about 55,000 meals that we put out last year. So that's pretty darn cool as far as that goes, along with transportation here in town. And so we did about 10,900 rides last year as well. And that's taking people to those important medical, social, personal visits, to the bank, to the lawyer, to all kinds of different places, to your friend's house, to try again to keep folks not isolated as going on for us. We provided over 41,000 sessions of activities last year, which means that 41,000 times people had a chance to get in there, do some physical exercise, take part in some mental exercise, take part in singing, dancing, all kinds of activities that folks can actually take part in. And so we're very proud of those numbers. We did that last year with 160 volunteers, putting in 7,800 hours of volunteer service. And so we truly appreciate our volunteers, and it's something that's definitely needed. Right now, we are just ramping up for a good summer and trying to get some outdoor activities sated. We've got a great group of people that goes and walks on Fridays and Tuesdays. And so if that's something you're interested in, please check us out, join us. And thank you for your support. I see a lot of folks here that support the center and people that are patrons as well. So I'm very appreciative to all of you, as well as my partners in the nonprofit world.
When will enchiladas for a cause be this year?
Good for you, Eric. So Eric helped us out last year by doing a talk for us, and we are going to do our annual enchilada sale. We'll kick it off on the Cinco de Mayo, and they'll be available about Father's Day. We're looking at $30 a dozen again this year, and it's a great chance to come down and help us out, as well as a great chance to purchase some yummy home-style enchiladas that freeze well and make for good food. Thank you, Eric.
Hi.
Hi, Rose.
Hi. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering if you could discuss your funding stream, and I didn't know if there were drastic changes this year and how you've managed to balance that out.
Okay.
And, if you've had to eliminate anything, staff, anything like that.
Yeah, so I'd love to talk a little bit about that. So right now, we are in the second half of a biennial, so our numbers weren't necessarily affected. Our grant funding, we did receive. There was a lot of unknowns at the beginning of the last legislative session, and so we were told that there were going to be cuts, and then there weren't as many cuts. And so I guess our thanks goes out to our representatives for making sure that that didn't happen. Again, we'll be active this year in the legislature, going down next month to have a lobbyist who works for the Wyoming Association of Senior Project Directors. And so they're actually able to lobby for us where we're not allowed to lobby, but knowing how important that funding is to us. Right now, it takes care of about 65% of our expenses, Rose, and so we have another 35% that we have to make up through different areas, and that's big when you're looking at $1.5 million. And so, yeah, thank you so much for your question. Yes.
Thank you, guys.
You know, we only have 3 speakers to go. You guys are doing great, huh? And we won't be here till 10:30. So, we have Emma Jones now with Sierra Club.
Okay, I'm going to speak into the mic. My name is Emma Jones, and I work for the Wyoming chapter of the Sierra Club. The Sierra Club is the nation's largest grassroots environmental movement. And by grassroots, I mean that we are people-led. Volunteers drive all of the work that we do. And as an example, I was introduced to the Sierra Club when I was in college. I was seeing all of this terrible news around, what was happening to our public lands. I wanted to do more to be an advocate in my community, and so I signed up to volunteer with the Sierra Club, and now I'm an employee, so it's been a really great journey. What we do as the Sierra Club Wyoming chapter is really focused on making sure that our state has a future that includes clean air, healthy wildlife, and access to the outdoors for all. A couple of the specific projects that we work on are keeping public lands in public hands, so preventing the sell-off of public lands in Wyoming and across the country. We also are really focused on a just transition away from fossil fuels in the state and making sure that working families and communities in Wyoming have access to a future that includes, clean air. Right now, that looks like holding large utilities like Rocky Mountain Power accountable for the decisions that they make around energy and how those decisions impact our lands and communities. And really focusing on making sure that customers, which is all of you, have access to clean and affordable energy. We are also focused, like many of you, on being advocates in the legislature for our communities. I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but it's really important that you all are advocates as best as you can for making sure that our communities have the funding they need to survive. We are hosting a legislative training tomorrow night at 6 p.m. It's great if you don't have a lot of time because it's an hour long. It's a real crash course. And so if you're intimidated by the legislature and you want the basics, this is a great opportunity. And you can come talk to me and I can get you signed up. So, yep, that's all.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that training is virtual?
It is virtual. And if you can't make it, we will send out a recording afterwards.
And, I shuffled these like a good card game. There was no intention to put probably virtually the 2 youngest speakers last. That was totally, completely accidental. So we have Eric Boss is going to talk about the Young Democrats. Eric, you're on.
Hello, everybody. I guess it's not exactly in theme with nonprofits, but we're talking about the Democratic Party for 2 minutes. My name's Eric. The last time I was at this mic was when I was speaking in front of the congregation and giving them a good message, I hope. And outside of that, I have also been involved in Laramie volunteerism. I've spent every Wednesday morning at the hospital at their cancer center. I just got through my training with the Hospice of Laramie. We had our meeting for the Christian Jail Ministry today, where we go in every Saturday. And I share all this with you to articulate the importance not only of being involved in the community, but also the importance of young people who volunteer. So I hear all of your stories and I hear all of this. And one of the things that we as the Young Democrats of Wyoming believe is that if we can get some young Democrats in office, then maybe we can attract some young people to this state. We think that, taking me as a case and example, being able to have SNAP, being able to have Medicare, has allowed me to not only continue in my education to hopefully one day become a pastor, but also to be involved in this volunteerism, to be able to feel secure with my child and my child who is on the way, as well as my partner. And so I encourage all of you to consider the Young Democrats of Wyoming. If you're under the age of 36, you're welcome to join as a voting member. However, those who are not in that age range, it's it's also great to be able to be funded. And we've spent money on going to Omaha. We've spent some money on flyers and all sorts of things like this. And tomorrow we are hosting a protest, a walkout at 2 p.m. at the courthouse. So anybody who would like to speak out against the administration, the cuts that they've done on different things that have affected young Democrats, young people, and all people alike, we'd love to see you there. So thank you.
Is somebody going to talk about this topic? Yeah. Okay, Chris.
Hello, my name is Christopher Stratton. I am the Programming and News Director for Laramie 24/7. We are a grassroots, non-denominational, partisan, thank you very much, television station on Roku and on YouTube for the City of Laramie. We do all of the City of Laramie City Council meetings. We're the ones that are actually producing the show here for you tonight. And what we're really looking for is anybody who is interested in grant writing. We definitely need that. Also, anyone who is interested in doing programming. If you have an idea that could be a great idea for a small show, or if you're doing a podcast, etc., I always say a podcast is not a podcast. It's a television show in the making. It just doesn't have the cameras. So what we would like to do is see more options in being able to provide entertainment for the City of Laramie, and we're grassroots, we're in-house. You can definitely visit us at laramie247.com. We do have subscriptions for yearly membership, and anybody who's interested in broadcast or learning how to do broadcast and video, we cater to that as well. If there's any questions, I am open to them.
Thank you. Donald filled out a late card, so we'll let Dr. Donald speak. So we have Donald O'Toole, you're on. Wyoming Coalition for Animal Protection. Doc?
Hi, folks. I just wanted Jim to say I was one of the youngest people here, so that's why I filled out the card late. Thanks, Jim. I appreciate it. And it's true. So I'm speaking here on behalf of YCAP, which is the Wyoming Coalition for Animal Protection. I'll just read you what we have on our website. It was formed as a grassroots organization dedicated to advancing animal protection through education, training, and legal advocacy. So we're a small group, we're statewide. What we really would like to do is promote some ethos other than animals are useful if you can turn them into a rug, hang their heads on a wall, or eat them. In other words, animals deserve some respect. And what I've discovered here is what I learned in rural Ireland, in that Wyoming is predominantly a rural community that does not place a lot of intrinsic value on animals' lives. And I learned a little bit about that this afternoon. Sylvia Bagdonis had told me there had been a meeting she attended of the Wyoming Game and Fish Commission, where they were discussing a 3-year plan for black bears in the state of Wyoming. So I sat down and I watched it this afternoon. I wonder if you knew this. In the last 20 years, Wyoming has killed, through the illegal hunting, more than 10,000 black bears across the state. In 2025, hunters killed 659 bears. This is a success as far as Wyoming is concerned. And I thought, it's probably about money, but a tag to kill a black bear is $47 in state. And I'm not proposing you go out and do that. So we need to change some of these attitudes. The two things that YCAP really needs are access to a good lawyer who's good in front of legislative committees, and we need access to someone who knows how to use social media and will stick with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Donald. Any questions for Dr. O'Toole? Okay.
Young people can take questions, you know that.
Our closing speaker is not exactly a nonprofit, but Jenny Vincenti is so shy about asking to do things that we just, so Jenny, I'm going to talk about public education funding. Remember, we want to get out of here before 11, so it just be, come on.
Oh, I had an op-ed in the paper on Friday, but not everybody gets the boomerang. So I wanted to bring this to your attention again. And I brought some copies of it for those of you who haven't seen it in the paper to give you some talking points. But today, it just came out in one of the many emails I got, that the Freedom Caucus is proposing to recalibrate the funding for schools, for public education, by cutting $90 million and by eliminating more than 700 teaching positions. And that committee, the recalibration committee, is meeting on the 22nd and the 23rd of this month. So we've got 2 days to contact your local members of the recalibration committee. And in this district, it's Chris Rothfuss, who's supportive of good funding for education, but also Ocean Andrews. So I urge you to please contact Ocean in particular to urge him to vote for full funding for public education. And part of the arguments, and that's why I brought some of these copies of the op-ed. And by the way, it was several of us that contributed to the final draft of that. But it's not only fair, and it's required by the Constitution that all students get the same high-quality education, as opposed to some states where it depends on the property taxes that go to the school districts. So it also contributes to the economy, and it prevents lawsuits that are costly. So, thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. Anything else for Ginny tonight? Marav, I think. Yep.
Ginny, one thing that I would like to say to everyone in response to your request to talk to Ocean Andrew and encourage him, we don't have to beg awful legislatures to do the right thing. What we need to do is elect good legislatures.
So get your pens or your typewriters or your email going. Come get a copy.
How lucky we are to be in Albany County. I really mean that. I've been here 30 years. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I mean, the work that we do, that you all do is, and probably the other half of the room that hasn't talked has been equally as involved in stuff in this community. So thank you so much. Our next meeting is February the 16th, the third Monday of the night. Safe drive, and we'll hang out here a while, swap emails, volunteer with each other. So thank you again, and good evening.